Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Young County Commissioners Court sitting in the regular meeting, Monday, March the 27th, 2017. It is 9:30 a.m. I'll make note that this meeting was cited and published in the manner and for the time required, that all members of the court are present. If it's convenient, stand. Please, under invocation and pledges.
Mr. President, hearing Father, we just ask you to be present this morning. God direct us, give us wisdom, and issues facing us this morning. Guide us and help us make decisions that will better our county and better our community. Father, we just ask you to watch over us this week as we go out on our duties and protect us. Father, we just ask you to work your will in our lives.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. I honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one, indivisible.
Thank you. Item number 3, public comments, announcements, presentations. Admin in here, she discovered some things that the 4-H Extension Service was going to provide. We're going to have a flower arranging class Friday, April the 7th, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. North Central Texas College. And a 4-H quilt challenge. That's the $25 entry fee, and that begins on Monday, April the 10th. It's going to be 8 weeks of that, it looks like. Another thing that I'll mention is that I did attend a Senate committee hearing on Senate Bill 2. That was the 14th of this month, when that session lasted from 8 in the morning to broke for a floor debate on a separate bill. That would be the bathroom bill for the Senate floor at 12 noon, and then it reconvened at about 6:30 that evening, and then adjourned at 12:30 a.m. the next morning, the 15th. So, long debate. I didn't stay for the whole thing, but it wound up being amended. One, that bill's called the revenue caps bill, is what's kind of termed as. The Senate will tell you that it's not a revenue cap, but everybody else believes that it is. And there was an amendment to move that cap from 4% as it is assigned in the bill, which moved it from 8% to 4%, and then they amended it in a committee substitute called for 5%. It passed out of the committee 9 to 5, with probably about 90% of the testimony opposing the bill conflicting, but it passed anyway. It was sent to the Senate floor. It was debated on the Senate floor last week, I think on Thursday of last week, and they passed it out of the Senate on a vote of 18 to 12. I think there's one senator not present. So it'll now go to the House Ways and Means Committee, I believe, is where it'll be. It hasn't not been scheduled for hearing there yet. So,
How likely is it to be amended there?
well, we hope that it'll.
Die right there.
We hope that it doesn't make it out of committee. I don't know what the consensus of it is. I would, I guess my feelings are that because it is guised as a tax relief bill, that, which it's not, but it's guised that way anyway, that you know, I think it stands a good chance of passing the legislature. The House 2 may be in an amended form of some sort, but that's a huge vote getter when you talk about tax relief, property tax relief,
So
and
this is basically urban versus rural.
yeah,
Balance.
you know, our state doesn't collect any property taxes, and they don't have any that didn't take a constitutional amendment.
Sure you heard that.
But they can control, you know, and they do, and whenever you don't have to depend on that revenue, it's really hard.
But no one's controlling how much of our revenue they're spending.
Excuse me?
No one's controlling how much of our revenue they're spending,
No.
you know.
I mean, they
That's
control,
the
they
thing.
control all the revenue we can earn, but they don't depend on that.
Senator Perry voted for the bill?
Yes, sir.
He said he would.
Huh?
He said he would.
What reason did he give for it?
I have,
You know, what's sad is though, is you got 90% of the people against it, voicing their
And you
opinion,
vote, yeah, for
and
it.
they vote for it. That's
Truly
what I-
representative.
That's what I got a problem with. If the people are voicing their opinion and saying, we don't want this, then our constituents down there that we put in office should say, okay, if the constituents out here that voted us in don't want it, then we shouldn't do that.
Well, Commissioner Wiley, obviously they discounted the testimony of those individuals who were sitting there testifying against it because it was mostly rural counties, west of I-35.
Well, it's not gonna affect them big places, Fort Worth and Dallas.
When you got a tax base that's growing by 7, 8, 10% a year,
It ain't
the
gonna
4%
affect
cap's not gonna change it.
No.
well, the high growth counties won't affect much because they overcome that through growth. I mean, it's, and those are the two things that you have to weigh in there is,
I was hoping they would tier it a little higher, you know, like letting small counties continue at the 8%. Answer to their constituents.
It should be done by population. Don't do anything. That'd be the fairest way to do it.
How did Estes vote?
I haven't looked at the voting record from the floor, so I don't know exactly the 12 that posted.
You certainly need to take a look and find out.
They didn't have it posted as of Friday morning, so I don't know how the vote came down.
And our representative is on the House Ways and Means Committee.
Yes.
See, Drew? Okay. Thank you for the report, sir.
Is, anything else that we need to bring up here?
Let's see, cannons and crawdads are going on,
Yeah, that's first, April 1st.
April 1st, and clean up downtown. The Keep Grand Beautiful thing is going on downtown, and the first is a busy day around here.
And it's April Fool's.
April Fool's. But don't tell people to stay away because we're really serious about those things. And I believe that the Extension Service also has a small engine mechanics class going to be.
Yeah, we announced that last time.
Okay.
On, I can't remember what date that started, but I think Miranda brought a whole list of things for Timmy to add in this section as they were coming up. So these are some that are,
Small engine class, the 28th of March through May the 3rd on Tuesdays, 5:30 to 7.
28.
28th to the 3rd of May.
Last time I visited, they had no one signed up, so.
Also, we're having the Healthy County rep, Ashley Puritan here tomorrow. If any of your guys participated, or if you want to participate in the new one, there's a new program now. And I don't even know what all it entails, but it's another fitness thing, and any of them that are interested, please be here. I think I sent out an email about the times that they're gonna be here, and I guess they'll be at the sheriff's department
And that's gonna be tomorrow.
Yes, sir. And she'll explain what all it entails. The other one was pretty successful, and we got some money back when we participated in county versus county. We came in pretty high, got a little money, and that's to be used towards another program, so she'll talk about that.
This is a different group that's administering that program.
Yes, it'll be a different, it's not the boomerang thing anymore, it's something else. And I hadn't even asked Marcia, or I don't even know if she's had it explained, maybe some to her, but actually I'll go over it tomorrow. so.
Okay, that's tomorrow in the courtroom here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can't remember the times, 8, 10, and 2 maybe, and Sheriff's Department at 4. If they had some, because I know that jail school's going on, and I don't know.
We have one.
You do? Okay. You know, you did have several in the jail that participated. Did you remember?
Okay. Anything else? Okay, let's move on to item number 4. Consider county clerk's minute for previous meeting, March 13th, 2017. Are there any corrections, additions, or deletions that need to be made to those?
They've already been amended, correct? So I assume one, as they are correct.
Commissioner, motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Rogers to accept these, approve these minutes as presented. All in favor? 5-0. Item number 5, do we have any treasurer's financial reports in any kind? Okay, very good. Item number 6, consider auditor budget amendments for accounts payable.
I have one budget amendment from precinct 2 budget, moved $5,000 from road materials into his equipment repair and maintenance. And it's just within the budget, so,
Okay, so line item transfer.
yes, for precinct 2.
fire.
Okay,
Aren't most of them?
Yeah.
So,
Second.
have a motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Pruitt to approve that line item transfer as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried, 5-0.
Okay, vouchers today, a total of $45,929.24. And out of the general is $41,558.68.
so moved on that. It's probably just one of the lowest times we've had, least amount of money.
You don't brag on it.
We'll take it though.
Okay.
Motion by Commissioner Wiley and a second by Commissioner Pruitt to approve the vouchers payable as presented. All in favor? Carried, 5-0. Item number 7, in your packet, there'll be an interlocal agreement between Young County and the City of Newcastle, general assistance regarding maintenance activities. They have reviewed this. I think they met once with Commissioner Rogers.
Last Monday or the 16th or 13th or something like that. We had a pretty good meeting. Is there a regular council meeting?
What did you take away from there? What are they asking you to do?
They asked lots of questions. I told them what I would do, probably what I wouldn't do, but they agreed with it.
It's a permissive agreement. That's all it is. It's nothing that's, it's not anything that ties Young County to performance of any duty.
So it says that you may do that.
They sure would like up to the county just to take it over.
Yeah.
I can see that.
What?
They said their tax revenue was down 34%, I think, last month.
It generally won't change, it won't change anything that's been going on there for years and years. It's just been going on without any agreement.
Okay.
And
So we just put the agreement in place.
be kind of technically accurate where we need this interlocal.
I move we approve that interlocal agreement between the city of Newcastle and Lynn County.
I'll say,
Okay, we've got a motion by Commissioner Sipes, second by Commissioner Rogers, to ratify and execute that contract with the city of Newcastle, interlocal contract. All in favor? Carried 5-0.
Did they, Stacy, did they say the alcohol sales was killing them?
yeah, they really were down 34%,
None of us cared about that, was there?
Part of it, they got one of the lowest tax rates in the cities around here, so there's some room where they could increase a little bit.
Yeah.
They'll have to, I think, they'll have to.
If only it would go wet, better sink them.
Yeah. Yeah.
All they've got is the liquor sales to go for them now.
How much property tax could that community support?
Excuse me.
So I wonder how much property tax increase that community could support.
I would just guess their average valuation on a home over is less than 20,000.
Don't change the rate, change the valuation. Seems like that's somehow how it works.
Push that up on somebody else, then can't.
Yes, exactly right.
See, they had an election this past year, I think, in Lincoln, with the increase of sales tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that is.
7.5 now, where they recouped everything they could.
They only had a half-cent room in there.
Yeah. They took you.
Okay, item number 8 is discuss, consider executing inmate housing agreement with the city of Haskell, not the city, the county of Haskell, excuse me. David Davis called me up, I don't know, it's been probably 3 months ago or more, and asked what our rate was and all that, and I told him, and told him that we'd, even though we didn't have an execution contract, we'd housed some Wichita County prisoners for that. And he contacted me back 6 weeks later than that, I guess. He asked me if that offer was still on there, which I said, well, I believe that it is, and would I send him a contract review? So I did. It's identical to the one we executed for Prop Shopping, it's just modified to say Haskell County. And I asked Sheriff Babcock a while ago, and I think if I understood right, he wasn't opposed to that. And so David contacted me and asked me to modify that to fit their needs if they didn't have anything worked out in the next 15 days, and that's been about 6 weeks ago, if they'd need this contract. So evidently they didn't, because it came back in the mail late last week, executed from Haskell County, so.
What kind of extenuating circumstances exist here? What's our average prisoner count?
Right now, we've been averaging the last month between 75 and 85, so.
When does the number change when we have to
98.
have another jailer?
98.
98. So we've got 20 or 13 available spaces.
Yes, sir.
Haskell County's pretty small, I think they're, probably got a pretty low incarceration rate. They wouldn't have many prisoners to deal with. And they may have contracts with other people too, so I'm sure they do.
Do we have the right at 97 to tell them we can't take any more?
Yes.
Well, you bet.
Yeah, we have the right to refuse any.
I was kind of wondering about that too, Sheriff. Is there like, do they have like holding there for 2 or 3 days? And then if they're gonna remain in the county jail, then they bring them over here or what?
Over there?
Yeah.
I'm not for sure how they work.
I was kinda wondering.
I can drive over there and talk to them. I need to go over there anyway.
Yeah. I was kinda curious about that.
But,
What they had was, I don't know how many beds, but I suspect about 20. They probably had about 20 beds that were dedicated to county use, who uses their county jail.
right.
And that was in
And the rest of them was their immigration.
and all those things, and that facility's kind of been up in air for the last couple of years or more, 2 or 3 years, and didn't know what the status of it was gonna be long-term, and I don't know if they decided they couldn't come to an agreement, or that their intent was to close the facility down.
Yeah, I've been hearing both, I'm not sure.
Well, it had been that it was gonna be closed down, and so they were looking for a place, and then it changed, like maybe they got another federal contractor or something like that, and it looked like it was going to continue to operate and exist, so they were in a dilemma whether they needed this or not. And that last message was, if something doesn't change in the next 15 days, we'd like to have your contract, so if something didn't change.
I talked to somebody the other day whose sister worked there and
I have
they
talked
laid
to
off. They
Judge
laid off
Davis,
people.
and since he emailed this, since I emailed that back to him, this just showed up in the mail, executed last week.
That means they're serious.
Well, I would move that we execute the inmate housing agreement with Haskell County.
Second.
Very good.
I'm glad to have it.
What happens if somebody wants us to house 35 prisoners?
Got a motion by Commissioner Sykes, second by Commissioner Wiley to approve and execute the interlocal agreement with Haskell County for inmate housing purposes. All in favor? Carried 5-0.
Today, what is our true capacity out there at the jail?
I haven't looked at it this morning.
How many could the jail hold?
144.
124?
144.
44.
Well, now realistically.
Yeah, true
probably about
capacity.
130.
Yeah. Minus those couple of cells that were.
Not-
No, actually, you could hold 144.
Well, they won't let you operate that way at 100%. They'll hold you back about 90%.
Yeah, but you wouldn't hold, we're not gonna hold 144 capacity all for very long anyway, even if we did, because,
They'll regulate us at about 90%.
yeah.
I mean, we might could
Yeah.
hold 144 for a few days, or
Right.
So you got a bill for 144 in order to hold 129?
Or something.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It makes sense, okay.
They always want you to have a little extra space there.
For what reason?
Just
Just
because.
It's not to hold prisoners, because you can't do it.
Make no sense, does
It
it?
doesn't make much
I got
sense.
You'll have to take that up with jail
At
commission.
all.
I understand. I'm getting the question out there, so if somebody might want to ask them, they can.
Because they're about as silly as any other question.
Yeah. I didn't expect anybody this time necessarily to have the answer. I would like for it.
You gotta have exactly the right number of females and exactly the right number.
Yeah, there's a mix there too, isn't there?
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah.
Item number 9 is discuss, consider request bids for 2007 or earlier, 14-yard diesel tandem dump truck for precinct 1. And that's bids to be due here 4 p.m. on Friday, April the 7th by 4 p.m. and open on at 10 a.m. on April the 10th. And here's you can look at that proposed ad that Cheryl gave me to go in the paper.
I think I need to put, I'm just reading this, I
You
probably
good
need
with
to put when we receive those bids by 4 o'clock in the auditor's office. I can change that.
So,
I would
okay.
need to make sure.
Yeah, she and I looked at it together.
I know Commissioner Sykes would like to act on that earlier, but that's outside of being an emergency, is about as soon as we
Well,
take it on.
the problem with going shopping for a used truck is you fall either side of the $50,000 mark.
Yeah,
Right,
You know, once we went shopping, we found out that the trucks we wanted were somewhere between 45 and 55.
right, and
So
you're
we'll just have to deal with this situation.
and planning on putting down what you receive from the other
Right.
vehicles and financing.
Thing is, going through all this, I've found several trucks, you know, at all different prices. So I just need to contact those folks and have them send those trucks in with a bid,
Okay,
knowing that there's a lot of difference in used trucks. One truck to the next.
and you're gonna pay down what you got on the other ones and
Yes, yes.
finance through American?
American, yeah.
Okay.
So on the 10th, we'll probably need to also add approved financing for that
Okay.
truck.
I'll make a note of that.
I'll get this started in the paper this Wednesday and next Wednesday, and
Okay,
Thank
we've got
you.
a motion there.
So we need to get a second.
Okay. To request bids. All in favor? Carried 5-0. Item number 10, discuss, consider options regarding funds donated to Sheriff's Office in memory of Joey Parker. Travis, I think Jimmy requested this put on.
I appreciate that.
Okay, let me read this right here, the statute
Yeah.
regarding the donation. This section 81032 of local government code, Texas local government code. So the Commissioners Court may accept a gift, grant, donation, bequest, or devise money or other property on behalf of the county, including a donation under chapter 36 government code, which that has something to do with law enforcement, but I don't remember exactly what it was. It wasn't like this. For the purpose of performing a function conferred by law on the county or the county officer. And then section 111.0108, and that, this is county budgeting section. It says special budget for revenue received after start of the fiscal year, the county auditor or the county judge where there isn't an auditor must certify that the Commissioners Court has received revenue from a new source not anticipated before the adoption of the budget and not included in the budget for that fiscal year. On certification, the court may adopt a special budget for the limited purpose of spending the revenue for general purposes or for any of its intended purposes. I take it that's for any of the donated funds intended purposes. So, okay with that?
Yes, sir. What I've handed you guys is, well, first off, whenever they talked to me about sending these donations to us, they were talking about doing something for officers who have the PTSD and situations like what Joy was going through. In this group right here, where Young County is included in everything that they do, and I felt like it was a good place to donate anything that would come to us for, in memory of Joey Parker, send it to them and let them deal with, help them with their expenses.
Okay, so let them administrate it?
Yes, sir. If you'll read in there, that has a lot of information about how many officers that they deal with every year in the state of Texas, and families and whatnot, so.
And Young County is included here?
Young County is included. I don't like the idea that they're sending this to the Young County Sheriff's Office, but there's nothing else. I mean, as soon as I get it, I want to do something with it.
So is there any way his only surviving child could get any of this?
All she requested was that all donations be made to Young County Sheriff's Office. That's all she said.
I wouldn't advise to give them to an individual like that.
So, and that's what I told her was that I would do something
I mean, I didn't
to,
have to pay the expenses.
and And like I told her, what I would do is send anything that was donated to a cause like this right here to stop
Well, I
what
certainly-
happened to happen in, or try to.
I certainly think that the money donated has been donated because of Joey's situation, and because who Joey was, which was a peace officer,
Exactly.
that this would be a very good place to take it and get it off our hands and into a revenue stream where it could do some good.
Yeah.
But my question was, is how do we want to go about, you know, I don't mind if they bring me the money or the donations, but I want to get it to these people the right way.
That's the treasurer and the auditor.
If it's made.
Some of it is, some of it's not.
$200, is that right?
This is $200, and some of it's made out to Young County Sheriff's Office, and some of it's cash, some of it's, and another one's not.
It'll just have
It
to
says
come
in the
through our financial department, but I think that the court, if the court chooses to, this is surely a non-profit or a.
So is there some way that we can make a, just like a
You can make a line item
Joey
account, some
Parker
council.
Foundation or something, you know what I'm saying? And just use that,
Make a line
put that
item in one
money
of your
into that.
accounts.
We'll probably have a line item, we can put it in and then write the check out of that.
We have
to-
that K-9
Put there and see.
donation line, we can
Yes,
just
sir.
We
make
do
it a
that, but
dual
I
line.
think that, I think that these funds could go to charitable organization like this.
And that's what I'd rather it go to, is this in here, if we can, I mean, that's my opinion.
Let's find a place for the money first, so.
Then we'd have a record if we put in
Yeah.
that
You know,
donation.
if,
We have that,
She said the K-9
yeah, we have
donation.
that
Can make
K-9.
a dual purpose
I
line.
think it could also go to any of the local foundations, probably,
It could, but if you'll read, you get time to read this,
okay?
you'll see why that I really chose this one. I just think it's better for the whole area, but like I said, it takes care, not only does it just take care of people with that problem, but it also helps the family out. And if you'll look on,
It's all of our surrounding counties.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and then there's this 100 Club that I'm gonna talk to y'all about at a later date. They're even sponsored by them too.
Does it say
And this
how much?
100 Club is
Is this a
very,
duplication of what our local SOS that we started last year does?
yes, sir.
Does it say how much goes to the actual benefits and how much to?
Administratively?
Administration?
You know, I didn't,
I think it did.
well, I didn't read that
There's
part, I can't read
variations
it
in
did.
different,
I was reading some of it over
there's
there.
variations in different
Yeah.
Right.
organizations.
That it goes to.
Well, how much they
Kind of like a
do.
United Way for police officers, isn't it?
You know,
Yeah.
there's the Rifle Association, there's
Right.
different, a whole bunch of different organizations.
100 Club.
That 100 Club is a very good
So they get
organization.
paid to find benefits, they're kind of like a grant writer?
We burial vault.
Texas benefit,
Funeral benefits.
pension benefits, United States Armed
Right.
Forces
Yeah, I mean,
benefits.
So that's what I'm saying, it really helps
What is this organization called?
cops. And what it stands for is
Metroplex
Concerns of
Cops.
Police Survivors.
Duty weapons and badge.
Yeah, it goes to a lot of stuff.
Just how much does it cost on each dollar to get to that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I'm sure that every little bit goes to some, you know, to support any of that is worth it to me.
Free burial vault
Yeah.
provided by Wilbert Funeral Services.
Like I said, some of these checks were made out to Young County Sheriff's Office. One was in memory of Joey Parker, and then the substitute is cash.
I understand. What the local fund that was set last year will go strictly to local first responders.
Mhm.
But then again, I think this money is probably intended more for
And that's
police
what,
officers
and that's what I'm
rather
working
than
on.
volunteer firemen.
Yeah, I mean, I want people, even with surviving officers who have PTSD, that they can use this, you know what I'm saying, and get help before we have the tragic events that happen. Try to fix it before it gets there.
Ray, you find a way to do that.
Well, I don't know, we just gotta start somewhere, and that's where I'm thinking right here is probably a good step.
Okay, well, I believe the court can do that. We can accept the funds, I think, accept the donation that we
You'll just give
currently
it
have,
to Cheryl.
and it'll be, yeah, it'll be the same.
Cheryl's like, no, I don't want it.
Same way we give you
Nobody
for
likes to
steel when
give
we
the
sell.
treasurer money, but that's where it goes.
She'll account for it, keep up with it, we can make a
Sometimes you can't afford to give you
determination.
cash.
When you certify those funds to us, then we can make a determination on where the court wants them to go.
Yeah,
Um,
then we can authorize it.
Study all that, authorize that expenditure, it's not a lot of money right now.
No, it's not, but I think we can probably at least get started.
It may, you know, we can just accept the donations that we currently have, there's not any provision for accepting donations that may come in the future to this, we have to do that over again.
Yeah, we can come back and
Yeah.
authorize that.
Yeah.
Or something happened in
Did you,
surrounding county, they wanted to donate to them.
Is there
We could
information on who
donate.
gave you, so we could send them a thank you letter?
Yeah, we have a copy and then there's a copy in there of who all.
So we make a
names.
motion to make a line item in the canine donation.
Well,
I don't think you need one of
I don't know
Let
about
them,
that.
let them deposit the money in their accounting, and then we'll come back and authorize it.
I wouldn't put it in the canine donations.
Well, we can use
Well, I
that,
can-
that donation.
Yeah,
number.
It's a line that they're gonna
Slash.
rename.
Yeah, I'll rename it.
We
Oh, you
need
don't have,
a motion to
access.
accept funds donated
Probably not.
to Young County in
Joey
behalf
Parker.
of Joey Parker. As memorial contributions for Joey Parker. And to be determined how we will dispose of those funds.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
We'll do it in consideration of what the sheriff brought here.
Yeah. Just know Travis will have to authorize this at another meeting.
So it's $200.
200?
I'll say.
Who seconded that? Jim.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir.
Joey Parker.
It's no,
No, this is,
You're just gonna move.
this is in the revenue.
Yeah, we can't put it in our line.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's
I
not,
see what you're saying.
it's just a holding spot, and that way we can track it. It will say that it was Joey Parker donations in the line. We do that all the time. We add it.
Okay.
And I can change that.
Second, do that, second.
It's just a donation. It
Okay.
doesn't go in your line. You can't put it.
So we've got a motion by Commissioner Sykes, second by Commissioner Wiley to accept the donated funds in memory of Joey Parker. That's in an amount of $200, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And to be determined how those funds will be disposed of. We'll take that up at a subsequent meeting. And we need certification from the auditor of those funds that were unplanned for and unbudgeted. That's according to section 111.0108 of the Texas Local Government Code. All in favor? Carried. 5-0. Okay. Item number 11, discuss, consider item for Fort Belknap Park, this is the bathroom.
I did talk to our rep with TAC on Friday.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten the report from the adjuster, but you know, we have $1,000 deductible. And I noticed that this bid, that the only bid we had on the floor was from 16. I'll wait and see what the adjuster suggests, but I don't know that we're gonna have anything from the insurance
Yeah,
company.
that's not very current, that's getting close to a year old.
Yes, sir. And like I say, with that much time, and I know more damage was done, so we'll see what the adjuster.
Probably need to get him to go back there and look that over. I think what the Hammond we'd like to do would be replace the bathtub also.
Right, and none of that'll be covered under insurance.
And we need to clarify too, because I got some call on this,
Uh-huh.
that we need to clarify this is the caretaker's house, not the bathrooms inside there.
Oh, yeah,
Not in the
For the
Ford.
Ford.
Yeah, this is residence.
right.
And we've already taken bids up on this. And this is what we accepted.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had some
What was
phone
the,
calls.
what was the bid we got on this, the bathroom?
From 16,
Uh-huh.
it's.
Last time we got a bid,
$48.95.
$825.
Yeah.
4,800?
When did we do that?
Well, see,
Dan
this,
was in here.
Yeah. What, a
this
couple
bid I
meetings?
have is from May of 2016.
Well, I don't think that I think we did that only on the porch.
Mhm.
We didn't do this.
We didn't do that on the bathroom.
Not the bathroom,
We,
But 16 was $4,800?
yes, sir.
I
And the
mean,
floor
that
alone,
could
replacing
mean
the
a $3,000 or
flooring and
$4,000
everything.
payment from the insurance company off its covered.
Right.
Well, then if we didn't, I thought we did. I thought we accepted this
no, we
bid.
separated.
Are you sure?
No, I don't think we did the bathroom, I think
Really?
y'all accepted the.
Okay, well then, we need to take bids on it.
We put it aside until the,
There's nothing to discuss and consider.
until the insurance adjuster was.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. We were waiting to see what the
And see,
insurance.
replacing the flooring and the subfloor was only $650. We have $1,000 deductible, so.
We need to get another bids from somebody else.
Yes, sir.
Is that-
My brother can do it.
Is that gonna be covered in our insurance?
Well,
You stay away.
the only thing that would be covered would be this, replacing the flooring, and the bid on that's $650, and our deductible's $1,000, so it's not worth really turning over to the insurance.
The rest of that is
But I'm
for
waiting
remodel.
for the adjuster to give the report to TAC, and then they'll notify me, and I don't even know, I mean, the adjuster, if he's gone out there and looked at it, haven't talked to Jim, but it's been turned over and in the process, so.
Yeah.
Give you a ring and eat.
It may not be worth, like I said, I talked to the TAC rep on Friday, and he hadn't gotten anything, so.
Generally, if the payment is not equal to your deductible or somewhere around that, you should make the claim.
Okay, so the pleasure here is to rebid this.
Yes.
Well, we didn't make the donation.
Okay.
And then open bids on the 10th?
Commissioner,
You throw it in there?
can I,
No, we need to wait till the insurance company does everything first.
Okay. Do what?
can I have you make that motion?
Absolutely. You can depend on that.
Okay, who's gonna make that
I'll
second?
second.
Okay, we're going to rebid. Residents,
Caretaker's bathroom.
bath. Bathroom repairs.
Hey Cheryl, can you go off kind of what they put on this when you send out for bids? Kind
That'd
of,
be Fort Bell now.
Sure, and I don't know if you want Jim and them to call some people and get some bids. I mean, it's not gonna be over 50,000, so we won't do like official sealed bids. This can just be bids that they collect. I don't know who else.
Yeah, so you're probably gonna come if they have a low bid we don't want to buy.
I just want everybody to have an ample opportunity to bid.
Well, I can, and if you know some people, I mean, I can contact the Hammonds and get them to call around to some people, because they can coordinate what times to come out and stuff, so. If you have some people we need to tell them to call.
Yes.
We'll sure do that. You let me know,
I could do
I don't think that's something that we necessarily have to advertise, we just need to get 2 or 3 cost estimates.
Yeah.
it. Call and gather money.
Okay, all in favor?
Uh,
Okay, on another, little note with regard to, not the Fort Belknap, but Belknap Cemetery, I've looked around a little bit at signage, hadn't found just what I wanted. I'm gonna contact the correctional department, to see if they, I know they'll do some signs, I don't know if they'll do those kind, just exactly, but I'm gonna contact them and see.
The all-red unit?
Well, no, it'll be down,
Huntsville?
it'll be at Huntsville. It'll be that.
The all-red unit does stuff like that too.
It'll be who did that sign out there,
Oh, okay,
They're cheap.
and who did the chair, jury chair,
okay.
not the jury, the witness seat here. And,
I mean, I know the all-red unit does badges and
They were
posters and stuff like that. I just-
Well, unless they started over again, they were,
$7.50 and two.
Not for this, but the ones in Ann's
something to do
office.
about the working that's there now.
I know the correctional department does some signs for, highway type,
That'd be
directional signs and traffic control signs. But I don't
We should
know.
probably use them more.
They,
We'll see what they'll do.
they've left a book if y'all need, have any use for some things.
Really? I want to see it.
Okay, done.
Okay, how about any burn restrictions?
Everything's greening up out there now.
Green grass.
Sure got some strong winds.
Yeah, hopefully this is on for a while.
That was
Yeah,
horrible.
last Thursday, I think precinct 2, precinct 1 both were involved in some fire
I
calls.
had to get hold of them. Yeah, they called me and said, can you get the Ripple Road on a grader? And I'm like, well, why don't we call precinct 1?
We got the
It's down
road
block.
on the grader and the front end loader, and got a call back from Wayne Peters talking about how good, excellent job the guys did about circling that fire.
Walker,
Uh,
Walker.
When I was out from Green Bend out there on Rebel Road.
Off of 1287.
There was they had a call about a tree down on Highline Wire out around that Wildcat Ranch somewhere, but I guess maybe I didn't,
They sent a truck out there.
I didn't go on to a fire.
They got it out.
I think the fire at River Road only burned about 75, 100 acres.
That was a controlled fire too.
Well, that was one in Licefield, when she was putting the control burn they were discussing right there.
Where was that
Well,
one?
we had a lot of.
This one burned a telephone pole and two before it. They've been smoldering a good while.
Where was that one at, the last one?
1974,
Yeah.
1978.
1970.
I'm trying to think of the ranch, Fisher Ranch Road.
Okay. Oh. They were calling, the Forest Service or the TDM was calling that the Rebel Ranch fire.
What are they calling that one? That's the name switch.
Rebel Road fire.
Rebel Road.
So they got,
Yeah, they got them.
The Rebel Road fire was plenty rough enough,
I haven't talked to her, but she texted me.
but they got in there and managed to stop it.
Pretty good. She's-
Okay,
Whose house caught on fire on Rocky Mountain?
I don't know, I've
I
heard.
heard that this morning.
Here, I'll tell you.
There's a
The sheriff will know.
structure, was it a residence?
I don't know, but it's.
It was a house.
It was a house.
You know what it was, Travis? In the 1300 block, I believe, where
I don't
everything.
know.
Is that-
Well, we need members
is
out
that right
there.
at the very
The
beginning?
911 address showed Rhonda Rose.
Rhonda Rhodes.
I've heard that name.
Rhonda Road.
Apparently they left a burned barrel sitting on the front porch.
Oh, good place to keep them.
I hate when that happens.
It was what?
Burned.
Burn barrel on the front porch.
No, I was in there thinking. Anyway. That's
Burn
sad.
man wouldn't help that.
No.
No.
No, I think burn man's fine way it is.
Yeah, but
No action?
No action.
We hardly, I mean, really and truly, the way that wind was blowing last week, we didn't have anything that major.
People are smart.
People try to be careful. They know the danger of the fires. It's sometimes not
Common
thinking sure
sense.
G six in there. You know?
Yeah.
Except for the ones on the front porch.
Okay, if there's nothing further on, anything, motion to adjourn.
So much.
Uh,
So they had a major storm in Justin yesterday.